All right, people. So I'm here with your Night of Champions 2015 predictions video. Now, looking through this card, I'd say it's about half and half between shit I'm kind of looking forward to, or heavily looking forward to, versus shit that I'm not really interested in. So whatever. Though, let's just get into the review or the predictions, and I will explain. First match, we have Owens versus Ryback. No interest here, really. I mean, I like Kevin Owens, but Ryback's a piece of shit, and Ryback has proven that he can't fucking wrestle. He just had a match with Rollins, and he fucking shit the bed. Shit the sheets. It was a horrible fucking match. And then Kevin Owens, I mean, he basically fell off a cliff ever since he beat Cena at the Elimination Chamber. And of course, it's just Cena again, fucking somebody up in this company. So, I mean, and it's for the IC Championship of all things. I mean, it's like, who gives a shit about the IC belt? I mean, it's lost pretty much all its value, just like the dollar. I mean, it's a fucking piece of shit belt. I think Ryback will win here. It's kind of hard to even gauge who will win here because you never know what they're going to do. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't see Kevin Owens becoming Intercontinental Champion. I don't know why. I think it's going to, I think we're going to see some Ryback victory here or some shit where Ryback wins or retains, but I don't see Kevin Owens winning here. I think it's a possibility, but I'm going to go with a Ryback. I hope Owens wins, but for some reason, I don't know. I just don't see them giving the belt to Kevin Owens. I don't know. I really don't know. But my prediction is Ryback, I guess. Then we have the New Day versus the Dudleys. I think this match will be pretty bad, honestly. I mean, the Dudleys are fucking, past their prime. It's not a fucking tables match. It's not nothing. And, the New Day aren't the best wrestlers. I think Kofi Kingston's the only person with talent on a New Day, wrestling-wise. And yeah, I mean, the Dudleys, they're not the greatest wrestlers. And they're living in a watered-down PG environment, so I don't think the Dudleys are going to really thrive that much in WWE, to be honest with you. I mean, where are they going to be entertaining? It's not TV 14 anymore. It's not going to be hardcore. They're not going to be able to, use vulgar language or do vulgar things. They're not going to be great wrestlers because they're old and they're fucking, pretty overweight, to be honest. So, I do think they're going to win here, though. I mean, they're not going to bring back the Dudleys to fucking job them out. I don't think so. I think the Dudleys are going to win. I do think it's going to be a pretty shitty match, though. Then we have Rollins versus Sting for the WWE Championship. I think Rollins is going to retain here. I don't see them giving the belt to Sting. I think it's a very big possibility that Sheamus will cash in. I fucking hope it doesn't. I hope fucking like Sheamus cashes in sometime and he loses, or he fucking just dies. Just kidding. But seriously, dies in a storyline context. How about that? But why would they give the belt to Sting? They would only give the belt to Sting if Sting won and then Sheamus cashed in right after. I think Rollins is gonna fucking win. I think he might get some help, maybe from a returning Kane, maybe, or the Authority, or somebody. I mean, where'd J&J go? They just fucking, who knows where they went. They got fucking their asses kicked by Brock Lesnar, but, I think somebody's going to help him, because Rollins, the few victories he does get, they're never clean. I think the match is going to be pretty shitty, because Sting, let's face it, he's fucking 50-some years old, and we got to ask the question, should this guy be main eventing a pay-per-view wrestling for a WWE Championship when that spot could be taken by a younger guy who has more to gain? It's a question that should be asked. You know, and it's a question I could see the arguments both ways on, because Sting is a legend. But, you know, it's something that should be contemplated. You know, I do think in this scenario, you know, we could give Sting, you know, one opportunity. I do think it's okay. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind seeing a great, you know, match between, like, Rollins and Cesaro, or Rollins and Owens, or somebody with talent, you know, more wrestling ability. So, there we go. Then we have, I'm going to skip the Luchas and Neville versus Stardust and the Ascension on the kickoff. I mean, that's so stupid to even have that match. That match should be on fucking main event. But the faces will win. I mean, in petty small matches like this, the faces seem to always win. So, the Luchas and Neville will win. It'll probably be a fucking shitty short match that nobody will give a shit about. Then we have Ziggler versus Rusev. Once again, another fucking, you know, match nobody will care about. I'm so sick of this feud. It's been going on for, I'm pretty sure, months now. And Ziggler and Lana are just the most generic couple ever in WWE. You know, oh, it's this year's summer couple. It's just so bland and, you know, ordinary. And then you got this feud going on forever. It's like Rusev's a piece of shit. He doesn't put on, you know, he's basically been facing jobbers for 2 years. I mean, Dolph Ziggler's basically a jobber. I mean, what has Dolph Ziggler done in the past year? Ever since he beat the Authority at Survivor Series about a year ago, like 10 months ago, he's been a fucking jobber. I mean, what has he done? I can't even name one thing he's done in the past 10 months, except be irrelevant. Then you got Rusev, same thing pretty much. I mean, he's, you know, ever since he's lost to fucking Cena, he's been irrelevant, nothing significant. You know, except this whole bullshit with fucking Lana, which has been a disaster. Just like everything else in this company. So, I don't have any interest in this match. I mean, Ziggler's been in a major slump as of late, you know, when it comes to his, you know, ability to entertain. And a lot of that's the creative team's fault. But still, it's like I haven't seen any good matches out of this guy. No good promos. Just nothing exciting out of Dolph Ziggler. He's been shit. So, yeah, I think Ziggler will win, though. And I think it'll be a shitty match. Then we have the Shield, pretty much the Shield. I mean, it's Reigns and Ambrose and a member to be named versus Braun Strowman and Wyatt and Harper, the Wyatt family. I think the Wyatt family will win here. I mean, they just brought up this Braun Strowman guy, and you know, they seem pretty high on him, so I think they're going to give him the win here. I don't know who the fuck the Wyatt family's opponent will be, or you know, Ambrose and Reigns' partner will be. I don't know who that's going to be. We'll see. I'm not going to make a prediction on it because I don't want to think too much. I don't have that time to fucking think. I got to make fucking YouTube videos, you know. But anyway, I think the match will be, you know, like at SummerSlam it was shitty. I think it's going to be shitty once again because you don't really have too much wrestling talent. And, you know, like when Bray Wyatt first debuted, he seemed like a better fucking wrestler. Now he's, I don't know, it's like over the past year he hasn't put on any great matches really. I mean, he was wrestling great matches with Cena, with Bryan, and now, you know, flash forward to the present day, I mean, his, you know, my interest in him has just gone way down. You know, like I used to love him. He's cutting good promos, wrestling great matches. Now it's like boring fucking match, boring fucking promo. It's like he's just so, you know, old. You know, not old, but like same old shit, boring. Like Cena almost. He's becoming a John Cena. I mean, that character, his gimmick is just, I don't know, it's like old. You know, I'm just tired of it. You know, he needs to do something new, something that's unique to get his momentum back. But I do think the match will be shitty with the Wyatts winning. Then we have Rollins versus Cena. I think Rollins will once again win here with some help. But yeah, I think they're gonna keep the belts on Rollins. You know, I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna stretch out this United States WWE Championship, you know, simultaneous thing. here with Rollins. You know, I think it's a great possibility that Sheamus will cash in at Night of Champions. I don't think he will. I think it's, a good possibility, though. It's a good possibility I'm wrong. But, hopefully he doesn't. I would rather honestly see Cena be champion or even Sting than fucking... Actually, he can't cash in against Cena. But, even though I would rather see Cena be champion than fucking Sheamus. Because Sheamus is just so shitty. At least Cena has a little bit of talent. He is a decent wrestler. But... I think this will be another good match because Rollins and Cena are both, Rollins I think is a more superior wrestler than John Cena. But Cena still has, talent when it comes to in-ring ability. So I think they'll combine to put on another really good match. Good to really good match. Maybe even great, who knows. But I do think Cena will lose with some, there'll be some interference. But there you go. Then we have the last match, Charlotte versus Nikki Bella. I think Nikki Bella will retain here. Charlotte kind of just debuted. She's kind of still irrelevant to say. Nobody really cares about her. And I think they're going to just give the belt back to Nikki Bella and have somebody else take it because Charlotte kind of just came out of nowhere. Like Sasha Banks, there's a big demand now for, it seems like people are taking a liking to Sasha Banks. It's like nobody is really cheering for Charlotte too much, so I don't think they're going to give the belt to her. I think Nikki Bella will retain here. And there's no reason to put the belt on Charlotte. Like on Monday Night Raw, I thought Charlotte was going to win because you had the fucking countdown there to Nikki Bella being the longest Divas champion ever. But, now there's no reason, so... I think this show will be pretty shitty, actually. The two matches I'm looking forward to, really, are the Rollins matches, actually, looking through this. The Rollins matches. The two Rollins matches are the only matches I'm looking forward to. And hopefully Rollins wins. Because Rollins is pretty much the only good thing, in my opinion, right now in WWE. You look through everybody else, Cesaro. Cesaro's not even on this card. The people who have talent in WWE. The people who are good, Neville fucking on the kickoff in a fucking shitty match nobody cares about. Owens facing a fucking Ryback for a shitty fucking belt. You just go through all the people. Rollins is the only guy. The only guy. He's got the two belts. He's facing top guys. Yes, he gets jobbed out every week on Raw. But he's the only talented person, that's got something going for him in this company. And he's the only thing that is making this show, somewhat enjoyable at times. He's taken the show from being like a 0 out of, just a horrible fucking show that nobody gives a shit about, to being a step up from that, because you kind of give a shit about Rollins, but like everybody else, it's like nothing. I don't care about any other feuds right now except for Rollins. He's like the savior, the messiah right now of WWE. And everybody else, again, with talent in this company is being fucking ruined by the creative team and Vince McMahon. And they're being overshadowed by people like Cena, Orton, and Roman fucking Reigns. And then actually, I would say Brock Lesnar is another good thing at WWE, but he's not here right now, so he doesn't count. But, like, everything else is just so shitty right now. It's ridiculous. So there you go, people. There's your Night of Champions 2015 predictions.